Sometimes you just got to start your mood before you get to talking to your people. 100 ideas right now. Hey, 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 hey. So, we got to get our morning started. How are you guys doing? Girl, I done spent coffee on my doggone self. Look at this. This trying to be too juking. Doing way too much. Way too much. Let me go get me, hold on. Cause see, yeah, let me go get me a towel. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. How are you guys doing today? How are you doing? I am doing marvelous and excellent. So, you got your coffee because I got mine. So, hopefully, every one of you follow me on TikTok. Oh, if you don't know who that is Cam, CAM, 100 Scales. I will have his paper planes. You can follow him on YouTube as well. Hot music, hot tracks. You know how we do. So, nevertheless, we're just gonna get into it. So, I have been going and going on and how your big sister is gonna try my best to bridge this gap. And I think I see the problem with it. And actually, Kevin Hart, Fatherhood, the movie Kevin Hart, you hear me, Kevin? Publicity. But I think it was so emotional for so many people because black men are not deemed in the light that Kevin Hart put them in. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And before I go into this, for everybody that is still bitter, that is still upset, or you cannot understand it, we can fight and go against these other black men that are not doing what they're supposed to do, but understand we can give honor and light and room for the people that are great. But anybody else, this is probably going to be a trigger for you. And that is what mainly I'm talking about. Let's go here. Let's start off with black single fathers. 9 times out of 10, a black single father is single because the black mother has passed away, or she just out here so bad that he had no other choice but to do what he needed to do. Because we're going to be honest, the courts is always set up for the mother to be the mother's first, last, and only. And we're not going to act like men don't have to fight tooth, nail, and some other organs borrowed from some other people not to sustain no rights or even be a choice that the kids go to after something happens tragic with the mother lost in the system, so on and so forth. In many states it's like that. And I'm from Indiana, real close to Michigan, and I'm here to tell you that for men laws are not the same. And we need to address that and not have double standards for so many people that has fell short. And if we be real honest about a lot of baby daddies out here, a lot of them is in the position that they're in because of the selfish choices that some of you baby mothers made. And I'm sorry, a hit dog is going to holler when it comes to this. And we need to be real honest. It is a lot of women out here. And this is where we get on men and say single mothers is the reason the black community is the way that it is. We're not talking about all single mothers, because I'm going to say it just for the senses of being said, because I know how people will come for me. There are single mothers out here that didn't ask to be single, that you got with somebody, y'all was moving along together, y'all did what y'all did and had a baby, you grew up, he didn't. Do what you do. There are some mothers out here that had a great home and then all of a sudden something happened. He went to prison for something or he died or something, and now you have to raise your children by yourself. No, you did not ask for that. We're not talking about you either. But we need to quit acting like we do not know, don't have a cousin, knew a friend, or somebody in the neighborhood that you knew for a fact that got up and got pregnant trying to trap somebody. Thinking that if I have a baby by them, that I'm going to be on the same plane that all his other baby mamas. That's how you got men around here with 22 kids and 17 baby mamas, because everybody trying to be special. Stop acting like we don't know who they are. That's who they're talking about. When you make the conscious choice to have children with somebody that don't even like you, that really don't even want you, that all y'all doing up is exchanging nuts. Period. I told you I'm going to be raw. It is what it is. I said what I said, and you know it. That's what it's addressing. The point of addressing it so people can make better decisions. So now we got a younger generation that's they putting themselves first. They healing first. They being bossing first. We can't keep blaming everything that we do on the black men, just like black men cannot keep blaming everything that happens to them on the black woman. But what we need to quit doing as black women is also not acting like some of these mothers haven't fucked us both up. We know what some of us has been through with the black mother and how the trauma is there. We need to quit acting like it doesn't happen to men either, with mothers and fathers. Okay? Now, I said this to get to this point. It is a lot of black men out here that are awesome black men that have chose black women, if that's what you feel that is good, that has sustainable marriages, and I'm gonna get to that has sustainable marriages, that has black families, that do everything that we need to do. But when we sit up here and talk about the type of woman they want, women, we get mad at each other when we say he wants somebody that understands to be partnership, because I'm not going to get into the word submissive and all that, because y'all really don't understand that, and I'm not even about to get caught up in that argument. So let's say partnership. That some people have came to the point that I healed myself to realize what I deserve, and I don't play no games. That don't mean getting there that we didn't have no dry phone nights, but we didn't care that the phone was dry because we was too busy trying to heal us and make sure we don't take all the choices that we made. Even when I came to the point of my accountability, and when we say that, people will be like, oh my God, me taking accountability for the stuff I done never erases what the other person did. All that do is let me know and let me see how I do not end up with the same said person. And I can't be mad at that person for doing all the fucked up shit that they did because I allowed it. Because at any point that I said, you know what, I'm gonna quit fucking with you. You can't cheat on me, lie on me, do all these things to me. I don't care what you say. You're not doing it to me. And we know that. And then I'm not going to let you take away because I've healed and then I met somebody on the same vibration level. That means they had to heal or get to a space where we can combat. So when I have a space to praise these people, from brothers, fathers, or whatever, or talk about how I don't mind doing the things that I do. I don't do them because I do them to make me feel like I have to. I do them out of my respect for my reasons that I do them. Don't bring your bitterness over here to bash us or to act like we can't say what we say or act like men don't go through and I think that's the biggest thing, especially for us. We would be raised in the same household with the same traumas, get older and act like men don't go through the same thing we go through. And then on top of that, we know that it's not a space for them to be vulnerable. We know that it's not a space for them to show their emotions. We know that because we expect them. Just like we complain all the time about black women, how the world expect us to be this, that, and other. Do we not expect that from the black man? Not even expect it. We demand it. We demand it. We demand for you to go through all that stuff and then still have enough room for you to fix us. Yeah, think about it. It's crazy. And then if I get up here and say it, I'm up here stroking their ego. I'm not stroking anybody's ego. I'm applauding that black man for taking the time to get up and go heal and drop his traumas off to realize he is worth just as much as I am. To respect his body in his space, in his peace, just like I am. that's honoring me as a human being first, that's respecting me as a human being, just mere for me being breathing and living. I got respect for you in the bills because you're the mother of my children. You're the mother of children. You're a teacher. You're this, you're that, you're that. But for the same amount of respect, because she's a human. She don't owe me anything. I don't owe her anything. I can respect her. She can respect me. I can listen. And everything built from that. We sit up here and we get to the place of have an audacity like, oh, I know he didn't have the audacity to have standards and morals. It's not our fault that we're convinced that men just want to fuck everybody. Every man don't want to do that. And then it was my one point that you might have knew him back in his 20s when he wasn't nothing but a big old hoe. But at some point, he came up to the point where that's just not who I am. That's just not how I vibe. That's just not how I rock. And we be like the audacity. Just like it's a video right now on TikTok where it's a black woman talking about her and her friends went out. They was looking good, smelling good, being all fancy. And it was a group of black men. And she was so appalled. And as one of my favorite comedians, Darren Flick, would say, behooved at the fact that did none of them brothers even look at them, holler at them, nothing. But how many times women have we went out and said we just went out with the girls and we just wanted to kick it with the girls and be like, let us be. And even if we get respectful, if the guys do come over and say, hey, and we're like, oh, we just chilling. We want them to respect that space. Why can't we assume that men was just coming out just to have a drink and talk? Because they're finding out that they need a vulnerable space now, that they need some place to express themselves. They need to digress and have a little fun just like we do. Or why couldn't you think maybe, just maybe, that's a group of black married men that's not seeing no other woman that's monogamous? How about that? Or maybe it was a group of gay black men that didn't have no interest. However it was, how did we become so asinine and the audacity of it all to think just because you step into a presence, somebody is supposed to because you feel that way? Because if you had a different feeling that you was having a girls' night and them same black men walked over there and wanted to give you a compliment, you would be on the TikTok talking about why can't black women go out and people just leave us alone and respect our space. You can't have it two ways. Either you gonna want it one way or the other. Or just go and just don't go out expecting anything from anybody. And if you wanted to go out because you was cute and wanted to pick up somebody or felt like it was something, why don't you be like, hey, let me get your attention. What you want? So I don't have room to assume. What up, boo? What up, Zaddy? How you doing? I see you. Let me send you a drink. Let me get your attention. Let me see what you want. Let me check your flavor. But you so scared of rejection. You rather assume and make these assumptions about these brothers and then put it out and project it out there. And then you have all these other people that's rooting you up. And that's just not the case. Because it would be different if you sent a drink over to them and now you have a different story. What if you sent it over there and they, oh, thank you, you beautiful queen. But we all declined because we all married. But thank you. Then you can be like, man, let me tell you about this group of black brothers that went out and showed in public that they're faithful to their wives and they can go out and just kick it. Let me shine a light on that. But instead of understanding that rejection is not bad all because you seen something you want and it don't want you and it could be valid reasons, we don't want to shine a light on that. We just want to make the assumption to go against this narrative that black men don't respect black women and all that other stuff by one simple notion that could have nothing to do with not respecting or not liking or not black women not being a choice, especially if they stayed to the table by themselves. You see how that goes? And even to that, I know everybody is not going to get what I'm saying. And I know it's going to be some people that have a pushback and don't want to see it because then that means you have to quit being selfish. That means that you have to see it from somebody else's perspective. That means that you realize that you're not the center of the goddamn universe and other people evolve around their own universe and do what they want to do. That's what that means. And I know that's a tough pill to swallow, honey, because it was for me too. But I got it down. And you can too. And the reason why I'm not going to go on this video and go about the black men that do the stuff that we do, because everybody know about the trash ass black men. We know about the black men that has colorism problem. We know about the black men that want to tap dance for white folks. We know about the black men that's covered and drenched and drained with misogyny. We know the homophobic black men. We know that because it's video after video, Facebook after Facebook, tweet after tweet, TikTok after TikTok, movie after movie, show after show. Another black queen, another black queen, another black queen, another black queen, black men that's pointing them out. We know that, so I don't need to focus on that. I don't need to bring that up, and anybody that bring that up, that point has been beat to the ground. Let's get to the real. Stop avoiding, projecting, dodging this fact. And even to that, some might feel something. I know somebody, I'm not following you no more because you stroking the man ego. I'm not stroking nothing. Just like it's some facts out here about us, this is the middle area. And I'm not afraid to say it. And I'm not afraid to say it because everything that I've listed, I've been there. I've used my child as a weapon. I've had babies thinking this was going to make my relationship stronger and it didn't. And I know not to say everybody did. If you didn't, it shouldn't bother you. I'm not talking to you. Quit taking everything personal. If you've never done it, that's great. But this is, for me, my honesty is to show you people do it for you to have an understanding. Some of these men ain't crazy. I've been there on the other side where it is fathers that's trying their damnedest to be good dads. And these women ain't shit. And I could tell them the same thing. This also, after I tell her the truth, I'm going to tell him the truth. This is why it shows for you as a man to heal and recognize your worth. So at the end of the day, people may grow apart as in a relationship. But parenting is know that I'm always going to be there, always going to love them, and try my best to do what I need to do and give them the tools to life to be the greatest human being. It's some people that y'all might not have a relationship that's long lasting because people do grow and things do change. But you know, if you can co-parent, you know, if y'all can do the best job that y'all can by raising some other decent human beings. And you know that by knowing who you are, healing, dropping, and all that other stuff. And everybody ain't going to get, especially our generation. Some of us is listening to people like me to find where the fuck do I start? Because this ain't it. This ain't lit. But if everywhere I go, I get punched in the face or told somewhere different and we're not acknowledging the real shit that goes on, we're going to be spending generations back and forth arguing. We done beat them dead horses. And then you can go find that argument anywhere. But this conversation here, and I would address the men, but even to that, we so quick to be on their ass that it's a whole bunch of women, a whole bunch of brothers telling them, the men, what they supposed to be doing. Everywhere. But anytime it's a space where it's time to hold black women accountable, it's a problem. I'm not against us. I know what it's a problem. Just like for these men out here holding these other brothers accountable. Thank you very much. Do your job. But I'm your big sister. It's like being your friend. I don't need to tell you what you want to hear. If I'm your true friend, if I'm your true sister, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Sometimes you're wrong. And we get where it comes from. Shit, sometimes all we know is to be wrong. That's all we know. All we knew at the time. But once you know better, you do better. Will you build Rome in a day? No. But just know, hey, you know, it's some shit that I bought on myself. It's cool. It's some hurts that I got on myself. It's cool. I'm also learning to take some time. I made some decisions because I was pressured by other things. I'm taking time to get to know who I am and what I have to give. And I get that some people are not going to understand my boundaries. Don't disrespect me, but I know I can stand for my boundaries. That's why I I put the pressures on self-care, self-love, and individuality, because then you know. I know I don't take some things personal because you're in a place that I'm not. You don't like rejection and this is how you project. That's fine. But that should not be in a place where we can't allow the state for these good black men, because we want to take away Father's Day. We got women out here wanting to cancel certain type of songs because y'all made decisions to give yourself to somebody. And instead of going somewhere where somebody can teach you something to recondition yourself so you don't have to make these same choices, you want to fight against it because making these choices, life is a little different. life is a little hard because a lot of us felt like stuff should be handed to us or we're entitled to it. And that's individually speaking. Every black person don't think that way, but some people do. And for those of you that's entitled or feel like it just should be handed to you, you're wrong. Even to those who feel like when I meet a man, all I should do is sit at his table. Well, okay, this is my question for those women. He built that one table, which is fine. For some of y'all, that's what you're supposed to do. He is supposed to build that table. He's supposed to put every screw, every latch, every end, every paint, every chip on that table. Well, what you fail to realize is that's still his table. Because the thing that we didn't teach or was conditioned is, ma'am, you're supposed to have your table too. You've been to the cafeteria. You've been in big places. When you want to expand, you attach the tables. Not everybody fit at one table and he's supposed to hold that table up. You're supposed to add to the table to become what? A bigger table, partnership. You're two entities that if I can detach, you can still hold the weight of it up. And if I put it together, we can hold more weight and build. That's what should have been taught to us. And because of slavery and so many other things, we didn't trickle down here. And we got the philosophers and the people for that. I'm not going for that. It's a lane for them and they own there. And thank you for doing your due diligence with that. But we here. We at this point. And I promise you, no matter how you hold that table up, it's going to be great long as it stands on all its legs. But even back to my point, if he builds this table and he falls apart, what are you going to do? And that's the question. Everybody don't leave you for cheating, lying, being manipulative, none of that. What if you in a relationship to somebody that built your table and you just got used to sitting at that table, keeping that table clean, but you don't know how to keep it up and the leg fall off and he's unavailable? How are you going to fix it? And it shouldn't be, what do you have to bring to my table? It should be, let me see what you got on your table and let you see what I got on my table and see if we can combine the tables to make more or they don't fit. And there's nothing wrong with that. We are conditioned that somebody is supposed to save us and do something for us both ways, that we don't understand that we're here to save each other. We're here to add to each other. We're here to expand and be bigger. So no, I don't want to pull up a chair to your table and sit there and eat with your table. I want to see what you got on your table to see if your table adds value to my table. I want you to see if my table adds value to your table. And if it does, let's put it together and be grand and build and have an outstanding table stand. Make the presence known where we can be franchises. How about that? And if we do a lot more of that, we ain't going to have what you should be doing for me and what you should be doing for me. And you should be submissive to me and you should No. You get hurt when you hear that a man ain't supposed to fix you because we're conditioned that logic. Grow up, find you a man that love you enough that he can love you through all the decisions that you made. And you didn't make a decision because you was a bad person. You made the decision because there was nobody to teach you to love yourself enough through this. There was nobody to teach you to put yourself first because we was taught that putting ourselves first is selfish and you got to put everybody before you, your mama, your daddy, your kids, your job, everything else. And that's not right. So everything that you have learned and been conditioned to is a false narrative. And it's so hard to change that. It's a tough pill to swallow. Yes, it is. When you know I don't have to. And then for those of us that already got it or came into the world kicking and screaming that I ain't got to do that. I don't have to do that and be okay with that. We find the fight against the people who still allowing that. Women, it starts with us. That's why I'm on our ass about it. If you don't want a man to only sleep with you and you only be worth somebody to fuck, Stop fucking niggas that does not show you your value. And that's not all in the pocket, because money is not everything. He could come with money today and have bad money management skills. Just because he make $100,000 a year, he still could be making $100,000 a year and still $50,000 in the hole. And that ain't even got nothing to do with child support. That got to do with bad money management. Can't read, can't write. You just had a talent and made some money and still broke. Or still appealing to the superficial stuff on surface. But we also need to make a lane for people to be attracted to what they attracted to. Because if you got a woman that ain't nothing about the flashy, buy me, you got some men out there that don't want to do nothing but pay for relationships because they want to pay for the time and put it off. Let them be great together. Every relationship ain't a struggle. Let's not be mad at people that find each other and don't know no better, but say, hey, the energy in you makes me want to be better. I done messed up and messing up seeing that you different. I feel different. But we got so much opinions. And if that person is willing to say with that partner, I fucked up and you fucked up and we gonna figure it out, instead of holding them till they fuck up, let them be an example so them two same black couples can come back and say, hey, I know what it's like when you wasn't raised to learn how to love or learn your love language or be partnership or everything else because I stumbled and fall. We don't want to hear from nobody that then stumbled and failed and actually got the shit right and transparent enough to tell you that I was wrong. Yep, I've been married 3 times and I got it right the 4th time because I actually got out my way. We don't want to hear that because it takes too much for a lot of us that just don't want to hear it. I know I was one of them, because if I was one of them, that can't be, I can tell by the comments and the way that they go and how they present themselves. Come on now, people. And like I said, I do know that a lot of us, there's going to be with a lot of us, going to be. I know that. But I also know that sometimes it just takes, I never thought about it like that. And then once you go apply these certain skills or these certain thought processes to stuff, you'd be like, oh, okay. I'm not expecting you to build me. And some of us independent women know, just like you independent men should have the mindset, I got me. And I'm showing you what I can offer you and what I'm allowed to give you. Your other partner should look at you and be like, I got me too. And this is what I got to share. This is what it looks like our universe is kind of colliding. And I respect you and honoring you for you gotten you. For you having you. Like, for real. We improve one another. I have some weaknesses and so do you. Can I strengthen up your weaknesses? Do you make me want to be better for me? Because if I'm better for me, I'm ultimately better for you. And that's what a lot of us is trying to say when we do highlight the men in our lives and how we maneuvered and whatever the case may be. And that's also where we're coming from when we do talk about certain type of things that didn't happen with some black women. We're not up here bashing a black woman. We're up here transparent enough to be like, God damn it. I know I was conditionally fucked up. I know I had generational traumas. I know with my kids, I've came to a place where my behaviors, my insecurities, my lack of so many things, my selfishness fucked my kids up. And my mama fucked me up along the way. It ain't like we did it on purpose. We had no other choice. But I got therapy and I got healing. So man, maybe I can't be the only one. I know I'm not the only one. We talk about it every day. We talk about it enough to be like, that ain't us. Oh, me and you weak. You always got excuses. Do they? Why when some, of these people say what they say? And a lot of them don't say what they say to be like, this is what I hold on. Even to a black man can say, you know what? And you know it. A black man can come forth and say, when I was a kid, I was raped. I was molested. And my mother was horrible. And that's why I had no respect for black women. And we'll jump on his ass. And in the same breath, he can say, but I got healing and realized that I was angry with particular black people in my life for not protecting me and not letting me know that I was secure and loving me the way that I needed to be loved, that I don't need to treat everybody the same. And I healed from that, and I respect all black women, all in the same breath. But we'll be so gun-ho on what he said at the beginning, like the shit is not real. Like that was not his trauma. All because you didn't see it, or you mad that didn't nobody acknowledge you, or we got the me. Nah, whatever, you a man, you supposed to just be like, fuck it. But as women, we get the option to say the same thing. Oh, we understand why black women don't like a lot of black men, because they're not protected. They was molested, they was harmed, and everything else that we can go on and say. And we expect you to understand. And we know some people ain't gonna get it, but we expect you to understand. But black men, for the most part, do not have that space. And for some of us, it takes us to get with a good black man, or as y'all want to say, these high value men, or a good person, and he's a black man, and you respect him enough to honestly listen to him and say, damn, you right. Even to, I tell you one thing, another example of this is the Upshaws. Y'all watched it, great show. But it was a scene where him and his wife was arguing. And he told her, you need me to be fucked up. You need me to be fucked up so you can have an excuse for why your shit ain't going right, when all at the end of the day, you're the reason why your shit ain't going right. Yeah, you love him, but you the reason why you ain't cut him off. So I'm speaking directly to those who don't want to swallow that pill. You tired of men cheating on you? Stop dealing with men that cheat on you. That means your phone gonna be dry. That's gonna be, it means it's some time that's in your bed. Get used to being by yourself, not alone. It's okay to see the red flags and to shoo them away and be like, you know what? Yes, that person may pout, throw tantrums, whatever the case may be, but stand firm on your shit. So when somebody else do come along, we are the beginning. We change the narrative one by one, name by name. But nevertheless, however the comma, that is my spill on coffee with Mrs. Crawford. You know, people, I'm just having people just want to hear me halfway and be there. Let's talk about it. You already know I'm here. So let's